Hey there, this is Logan, and today we'll be covering Funumushi 13's mod, Ultra Super Saiyan Trunks. This character mod comprises of a new custom model made by Funumushi, unique skills by Unleashed, a new moveset, as well as many adjustments by Ghost. First off, we'll cover the character model, and whilst it is a great looking sculpt, I feel that it's inaccurate as it looks slimmer than Super Saiyan Grade 2, let alone Grade 3. So it makes the comparatively large hair look awkward and out of place in comparison to the slimmer body. I got into contact with Funumushi, and he's working on an updated version with a more accurate character model via an Awoken skill. And he was gracious enough to offer me early access for the purpose of review. Stick around to the end of the video to see some gameplay footage and an updated review. But proportions aside, it looks amazing. The second costume slot offers an alternative appearance without the armoured vest on, as if he took it off to somewhat counteract the restrictive nature of the form. Unlike the first costume slot, this one is completely original. Well, at the very least, I've never seen Trunks take off the armor in the anime or manga. This costume was likely just included to show off the bust model, and rightfully so, because it looks amazing. Trunks' skill set is comprised of custom skills by Unleashed, skill recolors by Ghost, as well as one new custom skill conceptualized by Funumushi and created by XV2. And finally, Trunks' second slot swaps out Funumushi's custom skill for Ghost's recolor of Gigantic Rage. Going into the gameplay, this hybridized moveset created by Funumushi uses Saiyan's Prominence moveset as a base, as well as mixing in some altered moves from Vanilla Trunks, as well as a Soda Charge move taken from Ririan. This moveset is awesome. It feels powerful, like Trunks is pouring every ounce of his strength into his attacks. However, much like the character model, it doesn't really feel like Grade 3. It's far too fast and agile. I feel like a moveset akin to Broly's would have been more fitting, with bigger, heavier attacks and more weight behind each impact. And whilst getting a balance between practicality and accuracy to the form would be challenging, I believe it would be a challenge worth undertaking. That is, if accuracy is something that's important for Funumushi, as I feel it would create a much better feeling when playing. However, despite my issues with its use in this mod, the moveset itself is amazing. And I've been using Saiyan's moveset for my personal builds for quite some time now. On the topic of modders that I often download from, many of Trunks' skills in this mod are made by Unleashed, who is, in my opinion, the best of the best when it comes to custom skills that strike a balance between being cinematic events and actually practical abilities. Unleashed contribution to this mod are the Jumping Energy Wave EX, a move in which the user leaps up while simultaneously firing a key wave towards the ground, attacking anyone below them whilst launching the user skywards. This move can be used repeatedly so long as the user has the key for it, and this modified version is faster and allows for use whilst boosting. The Punisher Shield EX skill, which is simultaneously a ranged counter move and a short-range melee attack. This modified version also allows the user to fire the projectile repeatedly after a counter until the user runs out of key. And finally, the Solaris Sphere, a fully custom skill that sees the user release a small burst of fiery energy, stunning the opponent before delivering a kick, which sends the enemy flying away, and leads to a combo reminiscent of Jiren's Power Rush ultimate. And the move as a whole seems to be inspired by Jiren. If you want my review on these skills specifically, then don't worry, as whilst I may not be doing it here on this video, I intend on doing a full series of videos for Unleashed's plethora of mods. Besides Unleashed skills, there are Ghost's recolors, which look great, but there isn't really much more to say about them, seeing as how they're reskins. But there's also Funumushi and XV2's Oversmash skill, which is a modified sledgehammer that, when used, makes Trunks rush towards his enemy and strike. Much like the sledgehammer though, its real damage comes when you charge it. However, unlike the sledgehammer, charging the attack does not leave you in a vulnerable state. Instead, Trunks becomes invincible whilst charging, before delivering a devastating blow. However, it is balanced, as it would be quite possible for the opponent to dodge or use an evasive or ultimate skill. As for the audio design, it all sounds great. It's very clean audio that elevates the characters and his skills to a grade above the rest. However, the standout is undeniably the Solaris Sphere. The initial burst sounds violent and explosive. The kick and the combo will have a devastating feel to them with quick, snappy impact noises. And the quick charger before the final attack really conveys the feeling that Trunks is rapidly exploding his power out for a decisive finishing blow. However, I've been having issues with OBS not recording audio, so instead I'll show you a snippet from Unleashed's mod showcase, link in the description. Overall, this is a great mod, with an interesting moveset and a fun arsenal of abilities at its disposal. However, as stated prior, I don't think it quite nails the feeling that you'd expect from Super Saiyan Grade 3. Besides that, I really have no complaints. It's well polished, it looks good, and the skills manage to capture that vanilla plus feeling of not being overly flashy, but also being distinct in their own ways. With all that in mind, I'd give this mod a 7.5 out of 10. And now, as promised, I'll be talking about the updated version with a new custom awoken skill, simply called the Ultra Super Saiyan buff, and as the name implies, Trunks bulks up by a noticeable degree that I feel strikes an amazing balance between looking and feeling like Grade 3, whilst not being overly awkward looking. It's a great look that I feel encapsulates Grade 3 brilliantly, and I'm glad that they decided to make it an awoken skill instead of just replacing the character model, as it allows Funamushi to have their own unique take on things, whilst also having a more accurate variant for those who prefer that. Funamushi is clearly a deeply passionate individual who puts everything into their projects, and takes fan criticism seriously, as that is why he made the updated version in the first place. I personally have a lot of respect for him as a creator, and find it inspiring, as he started this project from scratch, and the bus model alone took 5 years as he began it with no knowledge from the subject matter, which I find genuinely awesome. With this in mind, I feel confident in giving Funamushi 13's updated version a solid 8.5 out of 10, going up a whole point from the original. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, then make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. As always, I would appreciate any feedback you have about my videos, as I want to make even better ones in the future. Anyway, this is Logan, signing off.